Hello and welcome to another round of the Virtual Drift Championship, our first round for the new year 2021. And we're here at Sturup Raceway with another layout, brand new. Here with me, as always, is Tanner. What's going on, Tanner?
What is happening, Craig? Happy New Year, everybody. Great to be back here in January of 2021.
Absolutely, and with this brand new layout, it is awesome. It's very sort of similar to a Long Beach. Drivers have to navigate their way through some walls today, two major wall rides, and we'll bring up that line map right here. The start of the track at the more of the right hand side of the screen there with a long run up, and drivers will be entering in today at very high speeds, and they'll work themselves out to clip 2, their second outside zone, tighten up into clip 3, which will be inside clip number 1, work their way back out to the first little graze of a wall there at clip 4, your next outside zone. Then they'll transition across the track and for a major wall ride here at clip 5. It starts at the wall, finishes after the wall finish, and they'll have to ride that all the way around clip 5 and transition one more time across that track as they're going downhill into clip 6. Their next wall ride, they'll leave that and tighten up into their last and final inside clip, clip 7, and finishing wide across that finish line. So super excited here today. Group 1 is going to be Alexander Shavruk, Pavel Korpolinski, Andreas Linne, Erika Sturkis, Reese Tatterson, Peter Vincic, Pontus Jakobsen, and Raman Katastrenka. Bring up those qualifying rules as well. Drivers are given 2 non-consecutive judge laps to qualify, highest score counts. So normal qualifying rules that you see here. Until we get down to the bottom, each qualifying run is judged on line, angle, and impact. So impact replacing style. There we go. Line is the ideal path a vehicle must take on course that is marked by the inner clips and outer clipping zones that we saw on that line map earlier. So drivers are asked to follow that line as best as they can, and line is the biggest category of all three as well. That is the most important side of the driver's score. We move down into angle. And it is, of course, the amount of angle that the car holds throughout that entire run. The more the better, but of course you can't over-rotate and make corrections. It needs to be smooth throughout the entire course. And then that last and final category there, impact, replacing style. And it's, to emphasize and reward aggressive drivers who demonstrate excellent car control at all times and really putting that sort of X factor on their run. And then to change things up just a little bit as well, each judge will score the entire run with a maximum of 100 points. So no line judge, angle judge, impact judge. They're all scoring the entire run as they see it. And then those 3 scores are averaged up to give their driver their score for the day. The judges should be ready to bring them to the line, finishing up their last and final practice runs. There goes Alexander with Andreas and his new skin right behind him, rocking the purple today. Looking good.
It's definitely going to be a fun day today.
Oh, we're just here and we're having a little bit of difficulty getting one of our judges into the server. We're just helping him out on getting in. We watch these drivers go through the start gate. Get ready. See, while we'll wait, we'll take a look at Reese Tatterson and his practice run here and get a look at the course. Maybe you can give us a good example of how it's supposed to be run. And look at there, filling out that second outside zone, grabbing the next inside clip. Whoa, boy! Tapping it off the wall. Again, this is not his qualifying run. Still having a little bit of technical difficulties, but Reese throwing down on the live stream. Looking good. Very good example of a good qualifying run there, Reese. You're watching, you got it on in the background. And we do apologize, trying to work in the background and get them into the server. We got two guys that are having the same exact little errors. Just part of it, right, with a set of courses these days. But they're doing a fantastic job with Content Manager and custom shaders patch, Soul. Which, if you're wondering, that's all I'm using during the live stream is CSP and Soul. But I am a part of Ilia's Patreon. If you guys are interested in that, you can just Google search Custom Shaders Patch Patreon and it should pop up. I have a few beta tests in there. Alright, I think we may have solved the issue here. We've got Tanner in the server, and we're getting Matt in now, so give us just a few more seconds, guys. All right, we've got everybody in the server, guys. We're pulling up Alexander Shavruk to the line now, and we are ready to send our first driver of the day.
I'm just going to apologize quickly to the chat, but we did get it figured out.
It was actually, yeah, Shader's Patch. Had to update Shader's Patch, and we were good to go.
Sometimes it's the smallest things in life.
Really, like, absolutely. Here we go, Alexander Shavruk. First run of 2021, throwing it in with his GTA 6, filling that second outside zone as well. Really smooth line coming up the hill, grabbing those outside zones. Here we go for the first wall run, all the way out there. Transitioning across that track here. Leaving that zone just a little early, but catches that next inside clip and finishes his first run.
Ooh.
See what those scores will be. And 88.
Not a bad first run for the first round of 2021, as now we have Powell Korpolinski coming in hot in his BMW, taking out those two little rear clips there as he comes through the inside zone. Transitions up the hill to get on that first wall ride as he puts it in deep, getting the bumper on and leaving that zone, transitioning once again for the second wall ride as he stays on it the whole way through, comes in to grab that inside clip and finishes out his first run.
Yeah, another really good start.
Well, if it's anything like the first three rounds, sorry, it's going to be another tough competition today.
Absolutely, and look at there an 86 for Pavel Korpolinski to start out 2021. Here we go, Andreas Lene switching skins, switching liveries, now rocking the purple Pixel Motorsports. And looking good through turn one here, filling that outside zone two. Grabbing that next clip all the way out there to the wall. And a nice snappy transition into run two of the wall. Look at this. Very good run from Andreas. All the way out there to that last wall. And finishing it out. Very good from Andreas.
Literally putting the rear bumper on that second wall the whole way around. Good job from Andreas.
Oh, and then misses the U-turn on the live stream, but that's okay. He gets the 93. Oh, man.
As now we got Eric Sturkis coming in nice and fast. Good flick entry as he gets into that first outside zone. Grabs the inside clip. Now to transition up the hill. Down just a little bit, trying to get the car settled as he comes into that first wall ride. And these walls are scary. They can make or break your run. You've got to stay committed and stay on that throttle as he comes through the inside inside clip and across the line.
Sheesh. The commitment Ericos had through there, though. My goodness. Great run from Ericos. Let's see what kind of score he gets. And at 89.3 on the board for Ericos. On to Reese Tatterson, now teammate with Alan Hines in the Pro Drift Academy. And that same S15, and very nice entry from Reese here, getting all the way out there to that white line. Oh, he's going to wash wide for inside one, but gets all the way out there to that next outside zone. And then rides the wall down the hill here, putting that wing just over it. And into this last and final outside zone, all the way out to the wall once again, grabbing that inside clip and finishing out his first run.
What strong performances from everybody so far in Group 1.
Well, I know a 59 just popped up, but there it is, 89.3 for Reese Tatterson.
Next up at the line is Peter Visick for his first qualifying run here of 2021. And off he goes in that S15, initiating a good initiation as he stays on that throttle coming through that outside zone. Nicely grabbing the inside clip. He transitions for his first qualifying run wall ride. Ooh, giving it a little bumper smack there as he comes through that outside zone and transitions for the second one. Again, putting the bumper right on the wall. Just coming up a little on that inside clip, but finishing out his run.
Yeah, not too bad from Peter Vincent on his second event. Yeah, absolutely, and a good line. Even with the little tap on the wall, he held it together, got back in it, and stuck to his line as well. Very, very important on your score, and 86.7. Straight away to Pontus Jakobsen. And good entry, very aggressive here. Doesn't quite get out to that white line there, and washes wide for the inside clip. Here he comes across that track and into the first wall run down the hill here. Very tight to the wall. Nice transition once again. There he goes, grabbing that inside clip and across the finish line in his RX-7.
I think that's something the drivers are going to have to look out for today, though, is that initiation. Do they go for that big speed, big angle, and risk washing out wide on that inside clip, or slow it down a little bit, go good in the first outside zone, and make it through?
Yeah,
we'll see
absolutely.
what Roman Katastrenka decides to do in his BMW. Big flick initiation as he brings it in, riding that white line, grabbing the outside zone, and nice and tight to that inside clip. Transitioning now into that wall ride that we put here. Beautiful wall that is there. We'll love it. As he transitions again, putting the rear bumper of the BMW on the wall, grabbing the inside clip, doing a good job here as he comes across the line.
Yeah, very good start for Raman in that BMW. We're already back around to Alexander. Let's see the score for Raman. There it is, a 90.3 for Raman. Very good on him. We've got 8 drivers down. We've made it around. There's our top 8 up on the left. Here we go with Alexander trying to better on an 88. See if he can do just that. Looking good through the first turn so far. A little wobble there, holds it together. Comes out there maybe a little early, but holds it together on the right line around that wall. There goes last and final transition there. On the wall again. And around that inside clip. Let's see if that is enough to better the 88. Going for a little 360 after the run. Having a little fun with it. And at 89.3, he does better his score.
And those second run higher scores are really going to matter if it's anything like the last 2 rounds, as we have Powell coming in for his second run now. Nice and deep into the first outside zone. As he grabs that inside clip, almost putting a tire into the grass there as he transitions now up the hill. Putting it on the rear bumper on the wall as he transitions again for the second wall ride. Doing a good job just keeping the car stable and in check for that inside clip and across the line.
Yeah, good on Pavel there. Might be enough to better that 86 here in the first group of qualifying. And he does by a 0.3. Not bad by Pavel. We'll have to wait and see what the top 32 cutoff is going to be today, as last round was a 89. We'll have to wait and see. Andreas with his second run, trying to better the 93 that he already has. And just looking so dialed in his Supra now. Here we go. Oh, just a little bit too deep. I shouldn't have said anything. Oh, man.
I was just about to say how aggressive and controlled it looked on those first few clips.
Absolutely.
And I didn't want to say anything. I was like, I'm keeping quiet. Andreas is going to yell at us later.
Oh, man. Yeah, so, yeah, it looks like it's going to be 0 for Andreas.
But an 89.3 for his first run isn't too bad. That might be enough, hopefully, as Ericus comes in now for his second run of qualifying. Doing a good job. Lots of angle now, like almost right on those lock stops of his BMW through that inside clip now on the wall. Really putting it deep and going for it as he transitions onto the second wall ride. And yeah, look at that, right on the wall. Coming in for that inside clip. Good job from Ericus as he makes it across the line.
Yeah, really good job again. Maybe enough to beat the 89.3. And a 93.3 for Ericus, moving on up to that number 1 position above Andreas. Here we go with Reese Tatterson. No, the graphic down there says Peter. We'll take that away, so no confusion. Oh, it's fixed now. And Reese is looking good. Oh my goodness! Almost taking himself out against that first little wall tap. And here he is, down the hill. Taking that outside clip out as well. Just filling these zones to the max. And there he goes across the line.
What a run.
Yeah, that's got to be better than the 89.3. Well, you know, not a judge, but there it is, a 92.3 for Reese Tatterson on his second run.
As we're up to Peter Visick again, sitting on an 86.7, so he's going to want to improve that if it's anything like the last 2 rounds. He comes in, nice initiation, getting the car to angle. Going a little wide, dropping a tire there off that outside zone, but keeping it together for the inside clip. He's going to transition now and get onto the wall. Little stutter there as he tries to keep the car to angle. Getting back on throttle. Holding it nicely. Oh, putting the bumper into the wall again for that second one, which causes him to wash wide for that last inside clip.
Yeah, you could tell Peter was really going for it there for his second run. But, yeah, coming into that second turn and tapping the wall, it is going to be a rather low score on the 72 for Peter on his second run. We'll see if the 86 is enough to carry him on into top 32. And here's Pontus Jakobsen with his second run, trying to better the 83.3. Grabbing that second outside zone and that inside clip. Very nice now. All the way out to that wall. And into this one as well. A little bit tighter this time. Nice smooth transition across the track there. Setting himself up for that last and final wall run. Looking good across the finish line.
And getting to hear that wonderful rotary limiter. Now to our final driver of the first group. Sitting on a 90.3 is Roman Katastrenka. Looked great on his first run. Let's see what he can pull out for his second run of qualifying as he gets off the line now. Good and fast initiation from Ramen, but going way off course, dropping 2 tires there as he tries to save it and grabs that inside clip. Transitioning now for the wall ride as he's keeping it nice and steady, not as deep onto the wall, which after that initiation, I'm sure he didn't want to risk ruining the run and getting that 0, but keeping it together through the inside clip and across the line.
Man, if it wasn't for that tire drop on entry, that was a killer run there from Ramen. Not bad at all. It is going to be quite a deduction on his score, though, as you saw the 79.7. But that is Group 1 down, and look at the scores. 93.3 from Erikas Jurkis, 93 from Andreas, 92.3 from Reese Tatterson, Ramen Katastrenka with a 90.3, 4 scores already in the 90s. We will take a very short break and load in our next group of qualifying. And we are back. We've got the next group loaded in. They're taking their last little bit of practice runs, shaking the jitters out, getting ready. Bring up those scores once again if you're just now joining us. We're heading in to Group 2 now. And Erikas Jurkis is sitting on top with a 93.3 already in Group 1. And Andreas right behind him with that 93.3 points behind.
Yeah, one group down and the scores are already just so close together. It's an all-out battle this year.
Absolutely. It's so tough to get into the top 32 these past 2 rounds. Last round being an 89, and I believe round 1 was an 87. So just insane, incredible amount of competition that we've had this year. Hearing from the judges, these are their last and final little practice runs. We'll be bringing Stephen Hatcher to the line. Start Group 2 off. There he is. Popping off to the line. Right, and Stephen Hatcher off. A nice initiation here from Stephen and his arcs. They flying up the hill here, grabbing that inside clip as well, all the way out to the wall. And look at the snap into the wall here, down the hill, tapping it as he goes through, taking out the next clip. And into the final wall run. Oh no! He's starting to over-rotate. He did correct it and hold it together, but unfortunately that is going to be a big deduction from that crazy score that he had going up until then. Oh my goodness.
I didn't want to interrupt you. I was freaking out. That was an amazing, amazing first half of the course.
Oh man.
That was just throttle. Nothing else. As we move on to our next driver, with Stephen Hatcher getting a 73.7 there, but Nick Tasfikara going for his first run as he washes out a little bit for that inside clip, trying to keep it together for the transition up the hill to the first wall run, stuffing it into the wall, giving it a little love tap there, having to make a correction as he transitions now to the second wall ride, again putting it into the wall there, giving it a big bump, puts him off a little bit again for that inside clip as he crosses the line.
Yeah, I'll give him that. He was certainly going for it there on the wall runs. Did tap him a few times with some corrections, so that 78.3 will be his score for his first run. And here we go with David Silva. Nice smooth initiation here into the first turn, all the way out to that white line and tightening up for that inside clip. Filling that next outside zone as well. David looking very planted here as he comes into this second turn and filling that zone as well along the wall. And the next one as well. Look at there, stuffing the bumper on in there across the last inside clip and the finish line. Very good from David there to start things off for him. And a solid 85 on the board.
Not a bad run there from David. As we have Jake Wise now in his S14. Yeah, it's S14. I don't know why I thought that was an R32, as he does an amazing initiation, holding that white line all the way through that first outside clip and then into the first inside zone. Great transition as he comes too hot into the wall.
Oh, man.
That is going to be it for Jake Wise's first run.
Certainly is. It's going to come to an end there, but he has one more to go. You know, he's certainly capable. A brand new car for him too. He switched from an S13. And here we go with Victor Alves throwing it in for his first run and looking planted here, filling that next outside zone. Very tight along that clip. A nice smooth transition across here. Coming off a third place win from last round and looking good here in his first qualifying run. Last and final inside clip. And finish it out. Very good from Victor Alves. And a 89.3 for Victor on his first run.
Not a bad score, as we got Hayden Winter up next in that R33 Nissan Skyline. Really putting it deep into that first outside zone, coming up a little shallow on that inside clip, but making it work as he transitions up the hill for that first wall ride. Putting it nice along the wall and through the rest of the outer zone as he transitions to the second wall. Beautiful again, just scraping that bumper, but washing out big time on that inside zone and crossing that line. Inside clip.
Either way, he did reach in there and grab it. Let's see what qualifying score is going to be like. Oh, and we missed it. Acacius Elanus, I hope I'm saying that right. I'm probably not. Here he goes with his initiation, working himself out to that second outside zone. Fills it about midway. Ooh, and getting out to the wall. A nice setup for turn 2. Snaps back to angle, a little correction there. Not quite as deep as he could be. Good transition across the track though and into the last wall ride. Tight to the inside clip and across the finish line.
Not a bad run there from Cages, one of the drivers coming over from the other series,
the
feeder series. Feeder series. As we have Augusto Ferreira now, really going for it on his initiation. Nice and tight to that inside clip, deep into the outside zone as he transitions for his first wall ride. Really putting it deep in there. He's going to transition again to the second wall. Doing a nice job just to keep the car where it needs to be to grab that inside clip and across the line.
Good start again for Augusto. What kind of score up with here? At 87.3, not bad at all here. Steven Hatcher needs to beat that 73.7. We saw him earlier looking insane on his first run and then had a big mishap. Let's see if he can hold it together here for his second run. And looking good. No, Steven! Into the wall, shuts it down. And that's going to be it for today with Steven. Unless the 73 is able to carry him on into the top 32, but with the best two rounds being an 89 and an 87, it will be tough for him. Very unfortunate for Steven, a buddy of mine, and we'll see him another round.
Oh, for sure. And now Nick Tastakar going for his second run. Trying to clean a few things up from his first run, sitting on that 78.3, nice and deep into that outside zone as he transitions for the wall ride. This time not bouncing off of it and nicely sticking with it as he leaves it just a bit early, but does a nice safe line through the second outside zone and almost completely missing the last inside clip as he comes across the line.
Yeah, he got offline there, as you called it, leaving that, first wall run and that outside zone just a little bit too early, which, just set up the rest of the run for a bad line there. That's all right. We're moving on to David Silva, sitting on an 85 even and throwing his car into this first turn and looking planted here, filling that outside zone too, across the inside clip as well. Ooh, shallows up his angle a little bit to not hit the wall. Oh, and he's going to go into the next wall. Another unfortunate one to see. He's going to keep it going. Might as well use it for practice because that 85 might be able to carry him on in the top 32 later on. These drivers are really going for it today here on these wall runs.
Yeah, just leaving it all out on the table on the second qualifying runs. But someone who needs to get a good run in is Jake Wise here in his S14. He needs to get points on, sitting on his 0 as he initiates in. Puts it nice through the first sector of the course. Beautiful through the inside clip. Nice and tight against the wall on the outside zone as he transitions now for the dangerous wall ride that's eaten the last few drivers. But making it through now to transition again and put it back on that wall. Beautiful through the inside clip as well, and a good run there from Jake Wise and get some points on the board.
Absolutely, very impressive from Jake Wise there. Coming off that 0, pressure is on to get a score on the board, and he does just that with an 88. Back to Victor Alves. See if he can better the 89.3 that he is currently sitting on. Nice initiation from him. A little bit of a bobble, but gets it back together and stays on the correct line here. Up against the first little wall tap. Into the next wall ride down the hill. Almost putting his wing over the wall there. There he goes into the last outside zone. Tightens it up for the inside clip. And he finishes it out with the thumb out the window.
I wasn't expecting that.
And a 92.7 for Victor Alves. Very good for Victor.
Getting the crowd hyped at the end of this run for that type of score is now Hayden Winter. Oh, really sending it in with that R33 as he almost goes right to lock off the initiation. Beautiful through the first few zones as he's in this outside zone. getting that wall ride in, transitioning now to the second wall ride, trying to put it nice and deep, but just nicely putting the car where it needs to be, a little shallow on the last inside clip as he comes across the line.
Yeah, a little bit better on that run, trying to better the 81.7. I think he'll do just that. Yeah, absolutely. 88.7 for Hayden Winter. Moving on up and into the top 8 there, you see on the top left. Here we go with Cages. Looking a little smoother here on the first turn. Nice tight inside clip there. A good transition across the track, trying to set up that big wagon along the wall. Leaves a little bit of room. Another, ooh, giving it a little tap there on the wall. A little too tight there to the inside clip, but overall smooth run from Cages, trying to better that 80. As again, with those previous rounds being so high and at 83, so we'll have to wait and see if that is going to be enough.
That rhyme.
Bars.
As Augusto Ferreira really going for it on his final qualifying run here of Group 2, putting it nice and deep into that outside zone as he's still on throttle, going for that wall ride, putting it nice and deep in that zone. Transitioning now onto the second wall, still staying on that throttle, just planted his foot down through the inside clip and across the line.
Yeah, the way he set up for turn 2 and that wall ride, I swore he was done and over with. But he held it together and gets the exact same score, an 87.3. So not bad from Augusto. That is going to do it for Group 2. Erica still sitting at that number 1 spot with a 93.3. So again, we'll take a very short break, load in the next group. We'll be right back. All right, and just like that, we've got the next group loaded up. They're taking their little bit of practice runs and shake off those jitters. Qualifying can be so nervous. I know back when I drove, I think season 2, I'll put it out there, I double zeroed on my first qualifying for VDC, but ended up getting it together. But I tell you, the qualifying just gets so nervous.
Oh, it's the most nerve-wracking thing ever. I remember the very first open event I ever did, and this is going a couple years back now, and it was the scariest thing. And you know, I thought I was good, and I was like, man, that was a great run. I got zeroed, and now I look back on it, I'm like, man, that was not a good run.
See, I'm no lie, flew off the track twice in the same exact spot. But it was one of those very similar to coming into turn 2 here, where you gotta, pitch the car to angle and lightly slow down, kind of float in there and get back on throttle at the right time to not go off the track. And yeah, nerves, too much.
Your heart rate screams. You go from an 86 BPM to 140 in a heartbeat.
Right. It's that the infamous "when you're ready" on the
yeah.
Our head judge, Chris Vitulski, That's basically what the drivers get during qualifying. Is just a very simple when you're ready. But it has sort of become, you know, infamous here in the virtual drift championship. And then I hear in Discord from Chris, their last runs have been called. And we will bring Dan Dirks to the line to start Group 3 off. Top left of your screen, you can see there Ericus still in the #1 spot after 2 groups. He was in Group 1 and came out swinging along with Andreas, both with the 93s. Ericus making up that difference with the 93.3. You see Dan Dirks warming the tires up in the background and using the same car he uses in real life. He'll be here at Sturup later on this year.
It's really cool to see these drivers bringing their real life cars over and their own liveries on it. So it gives you that little bit of sense too. Like, yeah, I drive this car in real life. You know, hopefully we can get it to handle the same.
Absolutely. A lot of these drivers use it for training as well. So, especially the competition itself and getting your, you know, blood flowing and your nerves racking and you know, ready for that competition mode. But here we go with Dan Dirks. Great initiation in. Doesn't quite fill that next outside zone, but he's going to grab that inside clip. A little shallow there. Ooh, almost into the wall. Has to make a big correction there. Oh no. Yeah, sort of shut it down there. You might as well take the little bit of practice he has left, but with that straightening, I do believe it is going to be a 0. It is as it comes through.
Yeah,
we know. Why?
Oh, I guess Nick already got sent for his run, as he's already.
No, no. I heard. Yeah, I heard through Discord.
Ah, okay, perfect. As almost looks like Dan tried to clutch kick and the car just didn't want to. He was maybe in the wrong gear and it just didn't want to cooperate.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks like, yeah, Nick was going out of turn, and that is going to be... Yeah, we're going to move on to Connor Shanahan and his first run. The car really quiet here. There it is. We can hear it a little bit there. Great initiation for Connor. On a fantastic line there, coming up the hill and filling outside zone 3. Very nice into the wall run down the hill here. Putting the wing over the wall just a tad. Really planted into the last and final outside zone. Very tight down to the inside clip as well, and across the finish line for his first run of 2021 here in the Virtual Drift Championship. Let's see what kind of score he ends up getting here. 92.7 for Connor Shanahan. Look at there, right behind him.
Very good. As we have Austin Meeks now back at the line. Great to see him back here and driving in the 2021 season as he initiates in, missing out on that outside zone. The attempts to grab the inside clip, again shallow on that outside zone as well before the transition up to the wall ride. Doing a decent job on the wall ride, keeping it nice and close to the wall as he transitions again, just keeping a good safe distance from it as he feels out the car. He hasn't driven in a little while here, so feeling it out as he goes.
Yeah, shaking off the dust a little bit there with Austin, but I mean, he setting into the entry wasn't so great in turn 1, but the turn 2 and that first wall run was pretty solid, so be something to take a look at. Here we go with Tikhon Pileski on his first run of the day. Great snappy initiation into the first turn here, all the way out to the white line in that zone. Very tight to the inside clip as well, and looking smooth here. Very nice transition into the first wall ride down this hill. Scraping the bumper there. Super planted is Tikhon Pileski. There he is, finishing out his first run. A 91.3. Econ Pileski.
Very good job from T-Con. As next up, we have Tristan O'Leary coming in for his first run of 2021. Doing a good job so far through the first few clips. A little shallow on the front clip, but making up for it in the outside zone here as he's got it nice and up against that wall. Transitioning now down the hill for the second wall ride. Again, another great line through there as he tries to get as deep into that front clip as he can before finishing out his run.
And 80.3 for Tristan there. On to Mick Jeffrey. Now switching back to his S14. That James Dean replica car. And looking good through turn 1 and those first 2 outside zones. All the way up to the wall there. And looking good into this wall running down the hill. Looking great there. Tapping that outside clip. Putting his tires literally as deep as he can into those outside zones. And across the finish line is Mick Jeffrey. And 91.7 for Mick.
Very good score from Mick as we have the other Pro Drift Academy driver, Alan Hines, going for his first run. Crazy entry as he is flying through these first 3 clips. Beautiful on the inside as he grabs the outside zone and transitions now up the hill onto the wall. All practice, he has been managing to just scrape it the whole way around as he comes out and transitions down the hill now for the second one. Nice angle through it as well as he gets through the final inside clip and across the line.
Yeah, good run from Alan as always. And a 92.3 puts himself into the top 8 there. We're back around to Dan Dirks. And entering in a little bit better this time, trying to get out there and fill that outside zone. He's going to end up a little too tight there. Again on very tight line from Dan here. We're practicing with him the other day. He was doing very good, getting out to the outside zones. There he goes, filling that last and final one. Get down there into the inside clip and across that finish line. So will be enough to put some points on the board. Here it is at 68.7, and on to Nick Novak for his second run.
Yeah, Nick Novak sadly getting that 0 for going out of turn on his first run, but now putting it all out on the line for his final run of qualifying. As he comes a little shallow on that outside zone, but puts it nice and deep onto the wall for that outer wall ride. As he transitions again, tries to keep it as deep as he possibly can, grabbing that final inside clip and across the line.
Yeah, good job from Nick. Fortunately, the only run he'll have of the day, but not too bad. 83.3 on the board for Nick. Back around again to Connor Shanahan, 92.7. Good initiation there. Once again, filling that second outside zone. Utilizing that left foot brake to get around that inside clip there. Look at the snap into this first wall ride. Very smooth. Looking good here. Great initiation in the last outside zone here and down to the inside clip. Finishing it out.
Ooh.
Yeah, super smooth there, and that snap into turn 2 was insane.
Yeah, that was right to angle and just commitment.
And a 92.3, very consistent.
Very consistent indeed. And now Austin Meeks sitting on that 68, looking a lot better with a lot more speed this time around as he nicely gets through that outside zone, fills the inside clip beautifully, and that outer zone as well as he transitions for his wall ride. Stay on it, Austin, but
Man,
goes into that wall and it claims yet another driver.
certainly does. But it's good to see Austin back and competing. See him again for another round. Now Tikon Pileski trying to better the 81.3. Very smooth initiation here, all the way out to that white line. Really good line through that first turn and up the hill into outside zone 3. Here he comes into 4 and all the way up against that wall, even tighter than the first run. Nice setup for the... Oh no! The wall again claims another victim there.
And it just shows Sturup does not choose its victims, as someone as experienced as Tikon has even fallen to the wall. But Tristan O'Leary for his second run. Let's see how he puts it all out on the line here. Doing a good job so far through this first little sector of the course. He transitions now to come into that wall ride. Does a great job, nicely scraping the rear bumper as he comes around and transitions back down the hill. A little bit shallower angle just to hold up for that inside clip, but makes it through the course without spinning out.
Yeah, not too bad from Tristan there. Needs to better that 80.3 if this round is going to be anything like the prior ones. And 85, so he moves up a little bit. We're back around to Mick Jeffrey. In that James Dean replicated S14, and good initiation. Very nice up the hill here. Ooh, he's going a little wide, a little too early, but fills the zone. And then very nice into outside zone 4 as well. All the way up against that clip there. Very nice setup for the final outside zone, grabbing the inside clip. There goes Mick Jeffrey for his second run, trying to better the 91.7. It'll be close. It was very smooth. Very smooth run. And look at there, ties it with another 91.7. So he'll remain in that 7th position.
We have Alan Hines now coming for his final run of qualifying and final run of Group 3. As he's doing an amazing job with this initiation through those first few clips as he transitions onto the wall here and just nicely putting it against the wall, scraping the bumper the whole way around. Nice to angle again, giving the wall a little tap there as he puts it through that final front clip and across the line.
Yeah, another really good run from Alan there, really throwing down. Last driver of Group 3 as well. Let's see. And a 93.3, so he ties Ericas with a 93.3. So that is, again, is going to do it for Group 3. Take a very short break once again to load in our next group of drivers, and we'll be right back with more qualifying. And we are back once again with qualifying, and Group 4 has been loaded in. We're 3 groups down if you're just now joining us. Up at the top left will be your top 8. Erica Sturkis and Alan Hines tied at the 93.3. Andreas Linné right behind him with the 93 to round off that top 3. No, we should have it working, and we certainly do. There's your next 9 through 16 up on the board. Since we're 3 groups down already, there is your 17 through 34. So haven't quite rounded out a top 32, but we've got 8 groups of qualifying again today, Tanner.
It's been, yeah, the amount, the showing amount at every round has just been crazy. So it's great to see this many drivers coming out and giving everybody entertainment for the day.
Absolutely, definitely. Yeah, that was a time in VDC where we, would have a hard time keeping a top 32, like later on in the season, and now, drivers are going nuts and wanting to drive each and every round. It's almost rounded off to 70 drivers the past 2 rounds. So we are, that top 32 is cutting the field in half.
Yeah, that just means qualifying scores are higher. Everyone's bringing their A game.
Absolutely. We've said multiple times today, the 89 last round is what you had to have. Oh no, and it looks like we're gonna, a server restart is taking place. So we'll just bring up this graphic. No need to go to music and such. We'll just hop right on back into the server. Stay right on with Hear Me and Tanner. We load on back in.
I'm just watching, all of a sudden I see this car go wee.
Right? Yeah, I heard that over and over.
Especially with some of the things from earlier when you were like, oh, you're lagging a bit. I was worried it was my end. I'm like, oh no, my internet just died.
Let's see, before I think we're all set to go. I believe it was a livery issue, and that livery got missed. And it looks like it was Oliver's Supra.
Is it a Supra?
It's a Supra. It is an actual one. MK4. I do prefer the MK3s.
MK3s always have a soft spot in my heart. They're beautiful.
They really, that long nose, short rear, boxy, but yet pointy. Like it, yep. Especially like from factory, the later model MK3s from like 91 and on. I guess you really only had like 2.5 years, but
yep. I owned a 92 MK3.
Yeah, I had a 89, so mine was still 7M.
Oh, okay. Mine was 1K. I was a right-hand drive one.
Oh, nice, yeah.
In Canada, we get them 10 years earlier than you do.
Yeah. See, I had mine back in probably 2007.
Yeah,
Might give you an idea.
That's a
long, long time ago.
But great cars. I love them. They're a looker. Like people always, that their heads will snap for one. They'll go, oh, what's that?
I have way too many people come up to me and go, "Is that a probe?" No. No, it is not. Oh man. I'm just, yeah. I'm sure anybody with a hatch, like an S13 hatch, has probably gotten that here in the States. But yeah, a lot of people like to assume that it was a Ford probe. I hear Chris chitter-chattering, and I believe he is calling the last and final runs. He should be it, and Tobias Thormanson will be starting us out for Group 4. So we're almost halfway through qualifying.
So close, yet so far to battles.
Well, we're almost there. We're getting there. We moved on along through this first half. Of course, you know, we had the situation where you and Matt couldn't join the server, so that held us up for a little while. But once we got rocking and rolling, we certainly did just that.
So for everybody else that plays the set of Corsa, remember, always update your CSP before an event.
It is a good idea. Or correct.
It helps.
Here we go. Tobias Thormanson at the line. A good start here. Nice initiation there, setting up the angle. Pulls out just a little bit there, but stays on the line. Does go a little wide for inside clip 1. Grabs outside 3. Nice transition to the wall ride. This outside zone, filling it all the way around. And setting it, giving it a little tap. I was going to say, setting it up really nice there into that last and final outside zone. There he goes across the line. Tobias Thormanson for his first run of 2021. I think judges are... It was really close there at the last bit of his run. He came really close to straightening out. And I wonder if that's what judges are looking at.
Well,
they're going to give him some points. A 78 on the board. So good to see. When I'm seeing or getting a 0 there with that, you know, small mistake. It's so close to the finish line. And I'm not sure if it would have, you know, affected the chase driver, you know, in that situation.
Exactly. But now we have Russell Jones coming in for his first qualifying run. Good job through this first little part of the course. Great through outside zone 3. As he transitions up the hill, getting on that wall. Look at him, putting it right up there, trading some paint with it. As he goes through the second wall ride now, gets off a little early to set up for that inside clip, and does a great job in doing so and finishing out his run.
Yeah, looking good from Russell Jones there. Really nice gentleman. I like Russell a lot. An 87.3 for Russell. Here we go. Abdulaziz Al Harbi. First round rocking his flag on the rear bumper there and going for the flick initiation. Little Manji there. Looking good on his line through turn 1 and up the hill here. Not quite filling outside zone 3, but stays on the right line, and look at there, sets up for that wall ride very nicely. Nice smooth transition across the track there into the last and final outside zone. See his flag just waving back there. Finishing it out, looking good, Abdulaziz. .7 for Abdulaziz.
Not a bad score for his first run out. We have Brian Garcia now in that Aston Martin, coming in for his first qualifying run. Really quick through that first 2 outside zones. grabbing outside zone 3 very nicely as he transitions up the hill to get ready for this wall ride and puts the short back end of that Austin Martin right up on the wall as he does a great job with the angle and the wall ride, really holding it through that inside clip and nice and wide off for the finish line.
Yeah, absolutely. Garcia's looked very planted in this car from the get-go. Got some information from Sultan and made some physics for it, and like I said, it looks super planted. A lot of MK4 stuff up underneath that car and its data. So here we go with Cal Fonseca on his first run of 2021. And look at there, all the way out there to the white line, filling that outside zone too. Very tight to the inside clip. Almost hits the wall there, but keeps it going. Very nice setup for outside zone 4 and this wall ride. All the way around. Oh, and stuffs it a little bit there. Bounces off, it's going to mess up his line just a little bit. He corrects with the left foot brake and gets around it and finishes his first run out.
That was a good run.
Yeah, it really was. Really went for it there, Cal Fonseca. One of the fan favorites there in the chat. 88.7, very good score for Cal.
As the next up is Daniel Mora in his S13. Good initiation as he's keeping the speed up. Beautiful through the second outside zone. Getting through that inside clip nice and wide to the wall there through the third outside zone. Transitioning now to the first wall ride where he is just putting the car where it needs to be. As he's going to transition now for that second one. Lock into his angle. Leaves a little early, but manages to grab most of that front clip before he crosses the line.
Yeah, Daniel extremely planted there on his angle. Not much, wavering at all up front from him. And 86.3, good run for Daniel. Here we go with Octavian on the straight. Very good looking S14 here as he throws it in. Rides the white line all the way to the next outside zone and grabs that inside clip as well. Nice snappy transition. Does come up a little short, but works himself out there. Gives the wall a little dip and playing with fire there as he leaves that outside zone. Oh, and sets in a little bit too fast there. Tapping the wall, throwing his line off, but he'll finish it out. He should get some points on the board. A tough one there for Octavian. A 75 on the board for him for his first run.
So we got Oliver Eppinger now. Really bringing it in with that Supra. Doing a great job so far, getting outside zone 3 nice and close to the wall as he sets up now for that wall ride. Doing a great job just leaving a couple centimeters off of that wall. He transitions for the second wall ride, leaving it again a little early, but missing out on that front inside clip just a little bit, about the second hash mark before he crosses the line.
Yeah, still overall very good. That is the car that we couldn't get the skin going for it, unfortunately, because it looks really good. I think you'll probably see it in the screenshots during our breaks today. It was purple D-Spec livery. And again, looking great. Here we go with Tobias Thormanson entering in for his second run. Needs to better that 78. Looking good up the hill, pulling up very strong. Little tentative on the transition here into outside zone 4. Rides it very well there. Stays in it all the way. Way out to the wall. It does leave it a little early. But overall, pretty smooth run from Tobias. Would imagine that might be better than the 78 being just how planted on the line he was, and at 83.3, so it does better his score.
As we got Russell Jones now coming up for his initiation and second qualifying run. Look at that, right through that second outside zone, nice and tight to the inside clip, putting it real deep into outside zone 3 as he transitions to that wall ride. very good job around that whole wall as he transitions now for the second one. Nicely trading paint on the wall as he gets a good line in for that front inside clip and crosses the line.
Yeah, going for it, trying to better that 87.3. And at 89.7, he does just that, moves on up just a little bit there. The scores, Abdulaziz Al-Harbi trying to better the 80.7 here, looking smooth through turn 1. Could have been a little deeper on outside zone 2, but very tight to inside clip, gets all the way out to the wall. Nice initiation into outside zone 4 and down the hill. Filling both these zones all the way around. Does go just a little wide for that last inside clip. Again, just very smooth and committed through that run is Abdulaziz.
Yeah, nice and cleaned up too. I think that'll hopefully better his score.
And it does, 83.3.
There we go, as Brian Garcia comes for his second run of qualifying here, sitting on an 87.3 and really going for it on that initiation. Tons of speed, grabbing that outside zone 3 beautifully, just nicking the wall as he transitions for the wall ride, trading paint the whole way around it. Last transition here into the final wall ride, just giving it a little love tap there, recorrecting, grabbing that front clip and crossing the line.
Yeah, he did finish a little shallow there across that finish line, but other than that, I mean, super planted once again from Brian. And not a big enough deduction to make it a lower score. So he ends up with the 88 on the board and on to Cal Fonseca's second run. Going after it there on initiation. And it looks to pay off there as he fills that second outside zone. Tight to the inside clip as well. Gets all the way out there to the wall. And into outside zone 4 there and down the hill, looking very good. Super smooth as he comes into the last outside zone across the inside clip. Finish it out. That's going to be close to beat the 88.7 there.
That was a very clean run from Fonseca there.
And he does with a 91.3.
As Daniel Mora's already offered his qualifying run. Good job there, good line into that second outside zone, grabbing that front clip like it was nothing as he transitions and sets up for the wall ride. The lock up there with the front tires as he gets back on that throttle to hold it all the way around. Transitions and gets nice and back on the wall once again as he brings it in for that final inside clip, just missing out a little bit on that third hash mark, but finishes out the run solid.
Yeah, other than that, like, it's so smooth there through the run. 85.7 for his second score, so very good once again from Daniel. Back around to Octavian, needs to better the 75 here for his second run. He initiates in and looks smooth here, all the way out to the white line. Very tight to the inside clip there. Boy, transitions maybe a little early, puts him offline. He gets it back together though, keeps it going. That massive sunroof on top of the car, if you've ever noticed there. And finishing it out, Octavian. That's a good little idea he did there with that car and that massive sort of moonroof thing. He plays in VR, and with that, you know, big sunroof, it makes the interior a lot brighter. So good idea there.
Yeah, definitely is. Oliver comes in for his final run and the final run of Group 5 as he shallows a little shallow on that first outside zone, but now we're at the wall ride and he's putting it nice and deep onto the wall as he transitions. Puts the car beautifully where it needs to be, a couple centimeters away from the wall, nice and tight to the inside clip as he crosses the line.
Another good one from Oliver, switching back to the Supra. He was in it last season. A few changes here and there as you see that cut rear bumper. I think it looks fantastic. Error, his, there it is, a 90.7. So he does better the 88 that he had previously on his first run. So just as you called it, that is the end of Group 4. We're halfway through qualifying. We're going to take another very short break, load in the next group. Again, we'll be back with more qualifying. All right, we've got the next group loaded in, Group 5. Again, we're halfway done with qualifying. If you're just now joining us, top left of the screen has your top 8. Eric Jerkis still sitting at that number 1. Ellen Hines tying him with both 93.3s. And then Andreas, after not qualifying for the past 2 rounds, comes out swinging in Group 1 and lands that 93 to put him into 3rd place as we come into Group 5. Hear it there from the judges. Last and final round, or practice runs for these drivers. And Christoph Rubina is going to kick it off. Group 5. Comes Christoph to the line. His lovely BMW. This thing looks amazing. He's given the go-ahead, and he is off. Very smooth initiation there into the first turn. Looking good up the hill. Very planted on the angle there. Not much wavering up front at all. It sets up for outside zone 4 very nicely as he comes down that hill into the final outside zone. Christoph really going for it here in run 1. See what type of score he ends up getting. Enough to maybe put him up in 89.3. But only showed there just for a brief second.
As now we move on to Ali Arslan in that S15. Good initiation by Ali, putting it nice and deep into that second outside zone, maybe missing out just a tad. Oh, huge hit into the wall in outside zone 3 there. Almost bumping him into the transition for this outside zone as he comes around the next wall ride, leaving a little shallow. Again, missing out more on that front clip, but finishing out the run without, hopefully, too many deductions.
Yeah, that's gonna be a tough. Yeah, I was wondering if the judges were gonna give him a 0, and they do, in fact, give him a 0 for that. I'm really surprised that he held it together, though. I'm not sure how he did that, but here's Brandon Williams on his first run. Looking pretty solid here through the first turn. And nice transition there into outside zone 4. Down the hill, tapping the bumper along the wall there. Setting it up nicely for that last outside zone. Very good from Brandon Williams. And a 92.7 for Brandon, so wonderful way to start it off his qualifying.
Next up is Ethan. And in that, going really wide, dropping 2 tires on that second outside zone as he comes through the inside clip and transitions now for the wall ride. Going nice and deep onto the wall, coming off just a little bit early to set up for his transition for the second wall. And just leaving some good space there to make sure he can grab that inside clip. And across the line he goes.
A good start for Ethan there. 77.7 for Ethan. His first run of the day. On to Zach. Zach O'Sullivan throwing it in and has done very well here in the Virtual Drift Championship for his first season. Goes a little wide there on the inside clip, but fills that next outside zone. Very nice transition here into the wall. Down the hill, leaving a little bit of room there. Ends up working himself out there. Sets up nicely for the last and final outside zone. Down across that inside clip. He'll finish it out.
Yeah, Zach's been a strong contender this whole season, so.
And at 89.
Very good score for his first qualifying run, as now we have Matthias Nordingen. Really threw it into those first 2 outside zones. We're going about halfway through, so could get a little deeper as he transitions now and sets up for his wall ride. Just leaving a little bit of room for error there, not going as deep as he could. Transitioning again for the second one, a little more comfortable there, going a little bit deeper as he grabs that final inside clip and across the line.
Yeah, really just going, or I guess leaving outside zone 4 just a little early there on that first wall run in turn 2. But other than that, really solid from Matthias, and gets an 86.3 for it. And now we're on to Sam Sheffield. Sam is back driving with us once again. And this time he's in the S15. Once drove the V8 86 from Driftworks at one point. You remember that car in VDC. Looking good here in the S15 so far. Setting up for that last and final outside zone very nicely. Very good start for Sam Sheffield.
All right, next up is Adriel Machado. He initiates in. Good job going into that second outside zone. Beautiful through that front clip as well. Going really deep into the wall, though. And that's going to be a 0 for Adriel's first run. Get the practice in.
Yeah, might as well take the last little bit that he has of the track there, but man,
that run was looking really good.
yeah, he was planted through turn 1 there and just, came up a little bit too hot, cresting over the hill, and yeah, went into that guardrail there. And that guardrail will take you out so fast. The way you come up, it just straightens you out so quick. And here we go with Christoph. His second run, trying to better an 89.3. Looking good there coming up the hill. Ooh, giving the wall a little tap. Sticking with it as well. Great looking BMW here. And a great looking run to match. Very good from Christoph there. Trying to better the 89.3. That just might do it. Very aggressive. And look at there. 93.3. And he'll put himself up top.
Ooh. Great score there by Christoph, as we have Ali Arslan now coming up for his second run, sitting on that 0. So he's going to want to really get this run in and clean as he comes through that third outside zone. Doing a great job so far. Beautiful transition onto that outside wall, leaving a little bit of room. But a good job as he transitions into this second wall ride. Again, leaving that little bit of room, going a bit wide on that final inside clip, but getting points on the board.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, other than that, like going wide for that inside clip, you know, you can't take too much away from that. And look at there, 88. So he will get himself some points, especially after coming off that 0. Yeah, I can't even imagine the nerves. And here we go with Brandon Williams wanting to better the 92.7. See if he can take that #1 spot here. And looking good so far around turn 1 and up the hill into turn 2 and outside zone 4. Super planted in this big car. There really isn't much you could take from that. Maybe just a little bit too inside on the last and final inside clip. But man, Brandon, super planted there. Locked in.
Yeah, Brandon's really showing out on this course.
Ooh, and falls just short with a 92 even.
We have Ethan, as we call him, Ethan Pikachu now, coming up for his second qualifying run. Beautiful through the first 2 outside zones, a little wide on that first inside clip, but making his transition now to the wall ride, putting it way deeper, and leaving just a little early, but good still very good as he transitions again for that second wall ride. Just a nice couple centimeters off of that. Beautiful through the final inside clip and across the line.
Looking good again, Ethan. And betters his score by almost 10 points and 87 for Ethan on his second run. There we go, straight to Zach O'Sullivan. And a little bit more aggressive initiation here on his second run, filling that outside zone 2, tight around inside clip, all the way out there for outside 3. We go into 4. And look at there, giving the wall a little bit of a tap, holds it together. Oh, and getting a little deep there as well. He's gonna go flying across that finish line, get some more points on the board, see if that's enough to better the 89.
Definitely leaving it all out on the line on that second run for sure.
Yeah, I mean, even the 89 is scary these days, and he gets a 90, so it goes up 1 more point. But again, that previous round at Wall, New Jersey, you needed an 89 to just make it into top 32. Here we go with Matthias Nordingen. 86.3 is what he is currently sitting on.
Yeah, Matthias doing a great job through the first half of this course. Right through the wall ride as he transitions now through the second wall ride. Doing a great job through there. Beautiful through the final inside clip, and just an overall very smooth run from Matthias.
Yeah, it's one of those ones that I don't want to say it was boring to watch, but so precise and very smooth. And look at there, 88.3 is what he'll get on the board, so he'll move up just a little bit more. Here's Sam Sheffield, his second run. S15, looking good here. Nice smooth transition across the track. Does set up a little shallow, but works out there to the outside. Oh, a little bit too hard into the last and final wall. He'll straighten up. That will more than likely be a 0 on the board. But that's all right. At 85, his first event back after a very long break.
Now Adriel Machado sitting on that 0 needs to give us a great run. He looked great through this part of the course on his first run and looking good now, getting past to where he messed up on the first run. Get onto that wall, Adriel, as he really going for it. He's got laid all out on the line for the second qualifying run. Beautiful through that second wall ride and nice and tight to that inside clip. Good job there from Adriel and getting those points on the board.
Absolutely, after coming off that 0, and look at there, a solid 88.7. Really just left outside zone 4, maybe just slightly a bit early, and then set into that last and final outside zone. You know, maybe a little early, a little shallow, but other than that, that was spot on from Adriel Machado, and that is going to do it for Group 5. So once again, very short break while we load in Group 6. We'll be back with more qualifying. All right, we're back. We've got our next group loaded in, Group 6, working our way through qualifying if you're just now joining us. Just finished up Group 5, and our top 3 are all sitting together with the same scores, 93.3, 93.3, and 93.3. And then we've got to mention Andreas sitting on the 93 after not qualifying the first 2 rounds, comes out swinging. He actually had a little bit of issues with his car in the last 2 rounds, and now he's got that thing dialed in. It looks like Bruno Sturger is sitting at the line ready to go. Goes down the straight. Really going after it here on his initiation. Looking good through the first turn here. Still in that outside zone 3 at the top of the hill. Here he comes back down it along the wall, leaving some room out there. Oh no, big lag there. I'm sorry, I hope that didn't show up on stream. Not sure what that was about. We're still going. Bruno looking good on his first run there. A couple very minor mistakes there. But overall, very smooth. 83.7 for his first run.
Which isn't bad at all. We have Kristen Petrov now coming in for his first qualifying run. Nice flick initiation as he settles the car out for that second outside zone. Grabbing that inside clip beautifully. Nice and up against the wall. Lots of angle through that third outside zone. Setting up and transitioning beautiful into that first wall ride. Now down the hill, leaving a couple centimeters of room there just for error as he comes through beautifully that last inside clip and across the line.
Yeah, good for Christian Petrov there on his first run. Imagine that might be a pretty good score there. 87.3 for Christian to start things off for himself. Good way to do just that, and here we go with Lazam. Back in his Supra and looking fantastic here. Very smooth through the first turn. Up the hill. Filling that outside zone. Nice and smooth transition into this wall ride down the hill. Staying on that line. Overall, very committed here through his first run. What kind of score he'll end up with here. Putting in scores now, it looks like it's going to be a fairly high score, and it is a 90.3 on the board.
A 90.3, that's a huge score as we have Alexander Element now really going for it nice and quick through the first two clips there. Nice and tight through the inside clip as well as he transitions, sets up for that wall ride. Ooh, getting nice and close to it. Beautifully done through that and through the second one as well. Let's see how nice he gets through. Beautiful through that inside clip as well and finishes out his run.
Yeah, good again by Alexander Element. Always one of our top drivers here in the series. And a 92.7 for his first run. So putting him up there towards the top of the field. We're on to Khrushchev for his first run. His S15. Actually saw this car last year by Alex Panfilov. Looking good with this new livery as well. Nice transition across the track there into outside zone 4. Filling it all the way around up against the wall. As well as that one does leave that outside zone just a little bit early, but he still catches that inside clip. He'll finish it out for his first run. So just, a couple minor deductions there, and there it is, 88 on the board for Khrushchev.
And Lucas already heading out for his first run as well. Lucas initiating in, lots of speed, good angle. He comes into that first inside clip, head up outside zone 3, leaving a bit of room there as he transitions down for his wall ride, trying to get it up on that wall. Just gets it out there near the end. Shallowing up quite a bit on his angle though as he goes in for his second wall run, leaving quite a bit early but managing to grab that final inside clip as he crosses the line.
Yeah, it almost looked like he maybe didn't get it into gear coming into turn 2. The way, he was coming in real smooth and good speed, and then just sort of sat and waited for quite a while there. But overall, not too bad. We know he can clean that up, and here we go with Kazuki Fukushi. Looking dialed here around turn 1. All the way up there to the wall tap. There he is into outside zone 4. Filling that zone all the way around it and riding the wall. Here he comes into the last and final one. Riding that one as well, catching the inside clip. He'll finish it out for his first run. And look at there, 89.3 on the board for Kazuki.
then the last of the first runs here is Kevin Stump in that monster S14. Good flick initiation from Kevin as he fills that second outside zone. Beautiful through the inside clip as well. See what he can do on the wall ride here. Just inching the car out, putting it where it needs to go as he transitions for the second one. A little bit of room as he comes in through that final inside clip. A great line through to the finish.
Yeah, really committed through that run as Kevin Stump. He normally is with that VAS 14. Turning in it once again from last season, 89.7. The score's just still creeping on up. We're back around to Bruno Sturger already for his second run. Probably needs to better the 83.7. Ooh, and coming up with tons of angle there into outside zone 3 at the top of the hill, and here he comes back down it. Getting all the way up to the wall, gives it a little tap. Oh, and that's going to shut his run down. Hitting the guardrail there at the end of outside zone 4.
If he could have just hung on to that a little bit longer.
And he was almost there, right?
Would have been a great run. As we have Christian Petrov now sitting on an 87.3 coming for his second run. Nice and quick through the first 2 outside zones. You see him now transitioning into the second turn here for the wall ride. Getting just a little couple centimeters there, but nothing that isn't great as he stuffs the rear end through the wall, bringing it through that inside clip and crossing that finish line.
Absolutely. And those of, if you've never watched a Virtual Drift Championship event before, we give a little bit of collider room with the cars. So that you have your 3D car, and then you also have your collider model, and that collider model sits inside of it. We give a little bit of room there on the rear to sort of mimic, the soft bumper back there, rather than just full solid. And here's Lazam looking good, coming up the hill, almost giving the wall a tap there, filling that outside zone. Here he comes back down it, filling that one as well. Nice setup for the last and final outside zone. Drives on down to that inside clip, all the way out to track edge as he crosses that finish line.
All right, and now Alexander Element heading out for his second run. Very quick initiation as he comes through the first 2 outside zones. Nice and tight through that inside clip. Coming in really fast into that wall and going into it and ruining that run.
That's another one that is just very uncommon to see. Alexander Element and Tikhon Pileski both getting zeros today in their qualifying runs, which I'm not sure if that's ever happened.
I was gonna say, I think it's the first time.
It has to be. I can't think of any other time it would have happened. And here we go with Khrushchev entering into that first turn and looking very good here, all the way out and filling outside zone 3 at the top of the hill. Again, here he comes back down and almost putting his wing over the wall there, tapping the little clip out there. Look at that, super planted up against that wall. And he's going to finish it out. That might be enough to better his 88 that he already has on the board. Move himself on up further. And there it is, a 90.7.
That was a great run there from Christoph. But now Lucas, his run in that S15 as he's coming through that inside clip. Beautiful drop through it as he transitions now to get onto that wall ride. Trying to put the bumper on it, leaving a little bit of room. He transitions down the hill, putting it, just scraping the rear bumper on the wall as he comes through the final inside clip and across the line.
Yeah, good job from Ukash. Switching cars, so he used to be in that big JZX. I switch to that S15. And that might give you maybe a little hint on the public car update with that car. Here we go with Kazuki Fukushi entering in. Very nice through this first turn. Really going for it here as he comes up that hill. Ooh, a little bobble there as he got back on throttle 4, outside zone 4, and down the hill. Holds it together very nicely, avoids the wall. Gets all the way up against that one. And he's going to finish it out. Very good job to keep that together after that little bobble there coming into turn 2. Very easy to go into that wall, but he avoids it. Keeps it going. See if it's enough to better the 89.3. It'll be tough. It's going to a 93 solid. The tying Andreas in his 93.
Scores again so high as we have our last run here of Group 5. Kevin Stump laying it out there. He's nice and tight to that inside clip and deep into that third outside zone. Get it on the wall. Kevin Stump leaving just a couple centimeters. Gonna transition back and oh, big slow up from Kevin as he tries to keep it together and finishes out his run.
Yeah, really close to just completely over-rotating there. Yeah, judges are going to give him a score for it, and he's going to show out a little bit for us here at the end. A good job by Kevin Stump, and that's going to do it for Group 6. We've only got 2 more groups of qualifying left, and then we move on into top 32. So we'll take another short break. We'll be back with Group 7 and more qualifying. Alright, we are back once again for more qualifying. We're almost finished up here. This is Group 7 out of 8 groups. And to start Group 7 off will be Martin Merrick. I believe that is him warming up his tires a little bit there. And at the line, ready to go, waiting on those drivers who are currently on track to finish their little bit of practice runs. Martin Merrick off for his first run of 2021 here in Group 7 of qualifying for round 3. Filling that second outside zone very well. Does watch a little wide there, almost getting into the wall. He might have a little bit. Oh, and then comes into that one super hard. Oh, man. I'm thankful this is virtual.
Yeah. I still feel it, though. That's the worst part.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's all right. Finish that run out, get a little bit of practice in that he had left. We'll see him again for his second run.
As we have Luciano Canero now coming up for his first run here at the Sturup Raceway. Beautiful job through the first 2 outside zones and that inside clip. Nice and deep, giving the guardrail a little touch there as he puts it out on the wall, scraping it the whole way around. Now coming into the second wall ride again, just scraping that wall with the rear bumper. Could have been just a tad tighter on that last inside clip, but what a good job from Luciano.
Yeah, good start for him there. See what type of score he'll end up with. An 85.7, so not too bad. He missed the current cutoff point, I'm not gonna lie, but here we go with Harry Kerr throwing it in. Oh no, he's gonna wash out. Took him a minute to get that car to angle, and he just kept washing out to the outside, but he somehow held it together, and here he comes into outside zone 4 down the hill, filling that zone pretty well. And into the last and final one, little tentative there, ends up getting it to angle. There he goes, finishing out his first run. Wait and see. What did I just say about that? That initiation there, they're gonna give him some points and a 73.7.
As we move on to our next driver now, Joao. Coming in that R35. First one we've seen all day. Kind of nice to see the R35 still out there as he's making his way through the course onto the wall right now, trying to get the big rear end of that 35 on the wall. There it is, nice little bumper tap there as he comes in through that final inside clip, and not too shabby of a first run.
No, a decent little start there for him, and as you said, not many GTRs left. I think there is only 2 of them. 86.7, so not too bad for him, but 86.7 is the cutoff, so he needs a higher one than that. A unit warning for his first run here, coming up the hill. Once again, looking very planted in that big BMW of his. Look at there, all the way up against the wall, maybe even giving it a tap. Filling that as well. My goodness. Really showing the agility of that big, massive BMW there. Again, did really well last round as well.
Yeah, Yuna has been a very strong contender throughout this whole series this year. And now Jordan El Nasser in that Dodge Viper. Doing an okay job through the second outside zone, but really making up for it through the first inside clip and the third outside zone, but way too wide and going off course and hitting that wall.
Another unfortunate 0 on the board, and yes, not me switching the camera on them. They are returning to pits, as they probably shouldn't be, but that's all right. We're going back to Alexander Holzner, and look at there, throwing this Amazon in. I love this car to death. He still drives it on the live axle rear, and I've driven it a couple times. This car is trying to kill you the entire time you're driving it, and Alex is just dialed in it. Throws it along that last and final outside zone wall, tied around the inside clip, and look at there, finishing it out. And yeah, fun little fact there, they have wheelbases very similar to a Corvette C6, so they're not They're not too small. And a 92 he gets on his first run.
That's a very solid score for his first run, as we have Derek Bardreau come in for his first run. Nice angle and speed through these first two outside zones. Beautifully done through the inside clip. Could have given a bit more room on that third outer zone, but setting up now for this wall ride and just leaving enough space to keep it going as he transitions, stuffs the rear end, gives it a little tap, puts him offline a bit. He recorrects and grabs that last inside clip and finishes out his run.
Yeah, he certainly does. Derek looking planted. I love the changes he's made to his car. It looks so much better now. Not that it looked bad before, but yeah, it looks really good now, and I enjoy it. 87. Derek waiting on Martin to come back up to the line for his second run. Has that 0 on the board, but he needs to put some points down. Here he goes, entering in. Very smooth this time. Oh, and as I say that, he drops tires off on the outside. Yeah, holds it together though. Oh, I didn't want to say too much coming into that second turn there. He does very well. Here he comes into the last and final one. Even better that time. Does leave it maybe a little bit late. Has to utilize that left foot brake to get himself around that inside clip. But overall, very good from Martin.
As we saw Martin Mark there getting a 75 for his second run, as we move on to Luciano Canero, who already sits pretty high up there with that 85.7. Got to get a little higher though to get into the top 32 today. He comes through outside zone 3 and gets ready for that wall ride, looking well and controlled. Look at him with that transition, nice into the wall there, scraping it, the rear bumper up, not as tight onto that final inside clip, but finishing out his line.
Yeah, he certainly did, and he does improve his score and makes it on into the top 32 so far. He has got a 90, and that cutoff score is just creeping on up, 87.3, and here we go with Harry Curry. Needs a better score, sitting on the 73.7, falls short of that second outside zone. Does grab the third one. Here he comes back down the hill and up along that wall, leaving a little bit of room. Ends up making it out there as he adds angle through the turn. Here he comes into the last and final outside zone. Oh, and there he goes, finishing it up. Almost over rotates there across the finish line. And he does improve in score just a little bit with the 81. But unfortunately, that is not going to be enough to make it on into the top 32.
Well, someone that might have a chance here is Joao. He comes in with that R35. And a good line so far. Beautiful into outside zone 3, giving the guardrail a little tap as he sets up for that wall ride. Putting the bumper right on the wall as he transitions down the hill through the next outer zone. Brings it in to grab that front clip and finishes out across the line.
Now let's see if that will better. It doesn't. It's going to be an 82.7. We'll see Jean another round in that GTR. Get a shot for that top 32. And here we go. Yuna needs to get a better score. He's currently sitting on 83. Pressure is on from here on out to get on into that top 32. And look at there, all the way up against that wall at the top of the hill. Sets in nicely. Look at this, tapping the wall there, utilizing a little bit of left foot brake. Across the middle of the track there and setting up. Really going after it there. Una warning. And it's not 82.7, so he's going to fall just shy of that top 32.
Now to Jordan El Nasser, sitting on a 0 in that Dodge Viper. beautiful initiation this time around. Not shallow at all, but missing out a little bit on that inside clip, but making the transition. Hopefully he can slow it down. He ends up in the wall one more time.
Wide twice there.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is our first 0-0 of VDC 2021.
Literally, yeah, of this season at all. Not to rub it in Jordan. Jordan is a very good friend of mine. But here's Alexander Holzner flying up the hill here. Filling that outside zone at the top. And looking good once again here in outside zone 4 and down that hill. Just on the throttle. Glad I got his sound working as well as it did in the last 2 rounds, and there we go. Very good from Alexander. I'm better at 92. It'll come close. And 92.3. Very solid second score for Alexander.
And again, quickly, I didn't mean no disrespect to Jordan. He's a good friend of mine as well, and he does a great job. And we're excited to see him continue on. And it's just cool. I didn't think we were going to get a 0-0 this season, but it happened. And we move on. Derek Barduro doing a great job here through the first half of the course as he's going to transition now for his second wall ride. And he has just been smooth and locked in most of this whole run as he finishes it out.
Yeah, another good one from Derek there. And he does give himself a little bit of cushion with the 91.7, and I believe that's the last run of Group 7, and we're gonna load in our last and final group of qualifying. Currently, the cutoff, Augusto Ferreira sitting in that 32 spot with an 87.3. So if drivers want to make it into that top 32, need to better that score. So we'll take one more final break during qualifying, and we'll be right back with more. Alright, we are back and loaded in the last and final group of qualifying, Group 8. You're just now joining us. Erikas, Alan, and Christoph all sitting on the 93.3s. Andreas right behind him with another 93. Saw a little bit of confusing incident with the qualifying scores in UNA, but judges went over in the in the drivers meeting with all the drivers, and it was in the notes not to do multiple changes of directions during your initiation. And unfortunately, he did just that, so it reflected on his score. And here we go with Marcus, first driver of the last and final group. He does wash wide for the inside clip there, but grabs the next outside zone, going wide, and ooh, he holds it together. Little bit of a reinitiation there. I do think that will be enough to keep a score on the board for Marcus, so we'll have to wait and see when they come in. But good start for Marcus, really going after it there.
Yeah, just touched that wall and just planted the throttle. Let's hope it stays sideways, and it did.
Yeah, it certainly did. His wheels did go straight, but overall the car stayed sideways, and he got a score out of it, an 85 for that.
This next up is Jonathan Simpson. Again, the final group of the day for qualifying as he initiates in, trying to get the angle going on that Subaru. Washing out very wide on the inside clip, but trying to make it work for outside zone 3, coming in for 4 here, which is the wall ride, leaving quite a bit of room for error as he transitions again. This time really stuffing the bumper of the Subaru in there as he slows it down just a tad to grab that inside clip and then finishes out his run.
Absolutely. Good on Jonathan. Way to start it. Little bobbles and corrections here and there throughout the run, but overall pretty solid. 82.7 he will have for his first run. And here we go with Magomed. Awesome, this car in with some speed. He's planted in, fills that second outside zone, stays on the track, very smooth through inside 1 as well, and he looks to be cooking through this course, flying into outside zone 4. He sticks with it here. He transitions one more time, oh no! Gives the wall a tap, and it is enough to full on straighten him out. And yeah, that is going to be a 0 on the board for Magomed.
As next up, we have Joni Matanen. Joni in that AMG Petronas Mercedes, doing a good job here as is nice and tight that inside clip. Transitioning now to outside zone 4, putting it nice on the wall. Transitions now to outside zone 5, and again putting the Mercedes right on that wall. It's a big car, I thought, for a BMW, you know.
Same, right? No.
No.
Don't
there's
say
gonna
that.
Be a lot of mad. There's gonna be a lot of mad people over that. It is a Mercedes.
It's a Mercedes.
A Mercedes.
And a 90.3 for Joni. So good.
Great run.
Absolutely, in that big, massive car. Here we go with Maxime. I think I'm saying it right this time. And look at there on the track edge for turn 1 and into outside zone 2. Grabs the inside clip as well. Does fall a little short of outside zone 3, coming up onto that crest. But here he goes into turn 2 and just riding the wall all the way around it. Minor corrections there as he taps it. Does leave that outside zone a little early, but he's going to grab that inside clip anyway and across the finish line for Maxime. And 83.3 for him.
And then the final driver before we wrap back around, Alex Caniul. Coming through the inside clip now. Good line through it as he goes nice and deep into outside zone 3. Transitions now for turn 2. This long outer zone. Couple taps around it, but catches the guardrail at the end.
And he does. He's so close there from putting down a very solid run from Alex there. And back around to Marcus Lundqvist. He's out of the gate already. Currently sitting on an 85, so he needs to better his score. As you see that cutoff come onto the screen there, and it is at an 88. Up the hill, filling that outside zone there. Here he comes back down the hill. Look at there, stuffing the bumper through the wall. And into the last and final one, giving it a little bit of a tap, which is going to send him off that zone just a little early, but across that finish line. Marcus Lundqvist going after it. See if that is enough to better that 85 he needs. And look at there, an 89.7. It's enough to put him on into the top 32.
Now for Jonathan Simpson's second run, sitting on that 82.7. Jonathan's really going to have to lay it down here to get up there into the 88s. Beautiful job through outside zone 2. Quick transition for the long outside zone of outside zone 4. Doing good now, looking a little more dialed in than his first run. The nerves are gone. Laying it all out as he goes, washes out pretty wide for that final inside clip, but finishes out the run smooth.
Yeah, again, just as you said something, Tanner. How good he was doing.
He still did very well.
It should be a pretty good score for Jonathan. It is going to fall short of that top 32, though, an 84 on the board, but still, overall strong score for this tough competition. And here we go with Magomed. We saw him hit the wall and straighten out at the end of turn 2 as he came down that hill. He's looking good so far here. Sets up for turn 2 to come on down this hill along the wall. He does just that. Doesn't tap it at the end this time. Keeps it going. Ooh, taps that one. Keeps it going. He certainly does. And he will cross the line on his second qualifying score. And an 82 up on the board, so he will fall short of that top 32 as well.
We'll see him at the next round as Yoni Matanen and that AMG Patronus Nitto Tire Mercedes really come through, going short, falling shallow on the inside clip, but going real deep and too deep into turn 2.
Yeah, that spot claiming victims today. Yoni is another one, but that's all right. He's sitting on the 90.3, so he's into the top 32. We'll see him later on. And here we go with Maxime already entering in. I'm glad I switched over. Sitting on the 83.3, so he needs to better that to make it on into the top 32. He's certainly going after it here. Taps the wall, keeps it going. Small correction. Whoa, really going after it. That's going to be too big of a bump there. Really straightening him out. But he does get it back together. Good on him. But that run is unfortunately not going to be enough to put him on into that top 32 as well.
But good on Maxime for just, going for it on his second run. Like, let's just lay it all out there. We're back now to our final driver of qualifying, and Alex Keneal. I hope I'm pronouncing your last name right. Taking out that front clip as he comes through it, trying to get the car to settle out and transition for the long outside zone of turn 2 here. Gets it along there, dragging the bumper as he transitions again, but hits the wall and straightens out.
I want to say that's the same wall he hit in his first run too, if I remember correctly. So another super unfortunate one to see, and Jordan's not alone now, so that's, I guess, a plus in that. But not something we always want to see, but we look forward to seeing him in future rounds. So that's it for qualifying. That is done and over. All 8 groups have taken their runs, and we have our top 32. We'll switch on over. Erica Sturkis with the 93.3. Alan Hines as well with the 93.3. Christoph Rapina will round out the top 3. Have Andreas coming off 2 rounds where he didn't qualify, and he's moved himself on into the 6th position. It's been sorted now. So, okay, here we go. Now that it has been sorted, we've got the tiebreakers in. Alan Hines is going to take number 1 position. So we had a couple of people in chat predict that Alan Hines was going to take that first place position in qualifying. He did just that. Eric Ozjerkis will take 2nd, and 3rd, Christoph Rapina, and we'll scroll through it. But strong qualifying today, once again, from all these drivers.
And some surprising outcomes, too, looking at this top 32 now that it's all up.
Yeah, a couple of new ones have sneaked on in there. Victor back in there in that 9th position after coming off that 3rd place victory. Oliver Eppinger rounding off that 17 through 24 with Marcus Lundquist at the bottom, the 89.7. And then on over to the 25 through 32, Jake Wise is going to be our last person to make it on into that top 32 with an 88. Brian Garcia right there with him with an 88 as well. So it's been an 87 and an 89 and now an 88 to make it into the top 32. It's insane.
How long till it's just 90s?
I mean, really though. We're so close to it already. We were almost close to it on the last round as well. But yeah, I mean, I'd feel sorry for the drivers sometimes because it's just so tough. Everybody's a bunch of robots out there, but that's all right. It's good to see, and we'll see those robots battle it out in the top 32. We'll shut this stream down. We'll put up a new event for our top 32 main event. Hope everybody joins us for that. And we'll take that quick break in between streams, and we'll see everyone back for the main event.